Yeah, so I guess, first of all, I think the question you raised, Kisan, highlighted one of the most significant challenges that as developmental institutions we have to deal with, whether it's the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, Inter-American, or any other development institution, which is how do we respond massively in some of these situations, and actually even outside of crisis? How do we deploy our developmental resources and meet the needs of the communities we serve, but do it in a way that mitigate the related fiduciary risk? And this, the reason why I'm saying this is one of the most significant challenges is it's because it's an exercise in equilibrium when it comes to risk management. We have to strike the right balance between the programmatic risk, because if we fail to intervene as decisively as we should or as quickly as we should, that could have pretty significant ramifications in terms of the delivery of our program. So we need to be able to strike the right balance between intervening, deploying the resources as quickly as we can, but also at the same time managing the related fiduciary risk. And where you strike that balance sometimes can be pretty tricky, because if you swing the pendulum too far one way or the other, it could have unintended consequences. I think if you're only focused on program delivery and disbursements without the right fiduciary safeguards, that could have pretty significant ramifications and ultimately actually undermine your ability to mobilize resources and deploy them in the first place. On the flip side of the equation, if you put too much emphasis on the fiduciary risk to the point that actually they become a roadblock to the implementation of the programs, that could have an unintended consequence. I think it's really important, as we always think about these things, about what is the right equilibrium and the right balance between managing programmatic risk and managing fiduciary risk. And I think in that context, certain things are very important. We're not in the business of avoiding risk. We're in the business of managing risk and mitigating it. And I think a number of the things, at least in the context of the World Bank, go towards that proactive risk mitigation before the risks ever even materialize. A lot of the things that Laura talked about are absolutely applicable also to how we work in this context of deploying our resources in response to COVID-19. Additional things that I would mention in the specific context of the World Bank would include the extensive due diligence measures that we have put in place as part of the COVID response, because we thought it was really important. The ex post review of contracts in some cases, and also the bank being more involved than usual in the procurement process through the bank facilitated procurement, and also the support to countries in their procurement when we felt that actually there might have been some capacity gaps. The other thing I would say is a strict application of the bank's anti-corruption guidelines, and really making sure that despite the emergency, we were still holding all our stakeholders, the borrowers, the contractors, the subcontractors. Everyone had to strictly abide by the bank's anti-corruption guidelines. We did not dilute them, and we did not waive them. I think that was also an important element of safeguard. And the integrity vice presidency itself is very much involved in working with the business to mitigate the integrity risks up front, and also to share knowledge based on our past experience that hopefully helps our partners design the programs in a way that mitigate risk. And lastly, INT, the Integrity Vice Presidency, is monitoring on a real-time basis the COVID response projects and looking at allegations. I must say that at this point, we are not seeing anything that worries us too much in terms of an unexpected uptick in allegations, but these are certain things that we have to monitor on a real-time basis.